can't talk about food because, as Neurality says, men don't know how to cook. So
Yeah.
What? Did she actually say that? The
Anyway,
fuck is Gordon Ramsay doing then?
yeah, never mind. Here, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 339. Uncharted 4 isn't a real game, and that's okay. And if you don't know, this is our continuation from yesterday, and we're talking about Mother's Basement. So much fun. My God, we were just not exhausted. We were just tired of it. We were just like, I don't care anymore.
I was actually really, really tired. And my girlfriend actually said, "Are you okay?" You know, been this tired before. I was like, "No, I'm just going to go to bed." She went, "Oh, I'll switch the light out." She went, "I switched the light out. All I heard was you snore," and I was like, "Yep, I'm completely conked out."
Don't ever show her that guy.
Oh no.
God damn.
Yeah, so watching some of these guys, I'm used to it because I've been doing it for so long, but there are certain lines of conversation or certain people who they're on the wrong rails, and you know they're on the wrong rails, and they just keep going, and you look at the time, you got another 10 minutes to go, you're like, oh my God, this is going to just drag on. Let's take a break. And I can do that. These guys can do it. They've been doing it for a while too. But some of them just hit us harder than others for whatever dumb reason.
Hell, I'm actually getting close to be doing this for a year, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ! I just like my brain is just. You know, if someone told me like a year ago, I'd be sat here talking about why Uncharted is a subhuman video game because some subhuman in his basement doesn't like it. I'm like, what?
Well,
what?
let's just put this in perspective. I've been debating a guy online, one of the Snyder bots, about the color of a dialogue bubble in comic books. And he thinks that the scene in Dark Knight Returns, in the comic book, where Joker is about to die, and he thinks because the dialogue bubble of the Joker and the narration box of Batman are the same color, Batman is hallucinating and he's seeing a vision of the Joker killing himself. Therefore, it wasn't the Joker, it was actually Batman killing himself. And he was just so adamant on this. And I'm showing him references from the rest of the comic where there's multiple colors of dialogue boxes and multiple using the same colors. I'm like, is Superman now Batman because his dialogue is blue? Is Batman and Two-Face?
Two-Face, I would say, yeah.
It's like,
I'm so tired of that argument.
They just have a laugh at their existence before he takes them to jail. That's really it.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever argued in comic books are straightforward, right? They're very.
Have you never argued that before, though?
That argument.
People have been arguing
I've
that.
never heard that.
Since, PBS.
I've never heard that. No.
I've heard of it. I'm getting tired of it. It's so annoying.
I had to reread the entire comic, and I was like, okay, I found 4 instances where your argument just falls flat, and I'm showing it to them. Page 1, panel 3, da 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 da.
Yeah, but any idiot can find panels, mods that contradict their things. You know, even the guy who made that video found panels that contradicted his stuff and still went along with it. The thing is, at the end of the day, Snyder bots are. I don't really want to use the term, but they are subhuman. Because it's just whatever Snyder says is true. Whatever he says, whatever he thought, they have no free will. Their entire lives revolve around what Snyder
I'm
says.
not even sure this is a Snyder like comment or view. I just think they have to justify this concept that's because Snyder made a killing Batman, therefore, because he was inspired by Frank Miller, Frank Miller must have made a killing Batman. It's like, no, he doesn't kill.
Yeah, but Frank Miller did make a killing Batman in All-Star Batman and Robin. And that comic is single-handedly one of the worst things that has ever been written.
Yeah, it literally sucks complete dick.
Yeah, and there's a fact that the Batman in that comic gets called Crazy Steve because he's just fucking nuts. Yeah, and that is the only Batman that's even remotely like Ben Affleck's Batman and everything. Like, not even because you have to remember, what is it? Year 1, Batman Year 1 and The Dark Knight Returns are set in the same universe.
Right.
And then it goes to All Star Batman and Robin, which is set in the same universe in between the two. And you read those comics, like in that order, you are going to go, what the fuck? It's like Batman, Crazy Steve, Batman. You're like, what the fuck is going on? There is no way that these characters this character goes through this thing.
Yeah, All-Star just seems like it's an Elseworlds kind of thing, not part of anything that either Dark Knight Returns or Year One try to like establish about that version of Batman.
In Year One, Batman saves cops from a exploding police car because he doesn't want to kill them. In All-Star Batman and Robin, he rams his car through 2 police cars which have people in it so they explode, then laughs as he sees people die.
Meanwhile, in All-Star, Batman is basically Heihachi Mishima with the way he treats Robin.
Yep, he locks Robin in the Batcave and makes him eat rats.
And then
threatens to kill Alfred.
Start him off a cliff in the Batcave.
Yeah, and then threatens to kill Alfred because Alfred gave Robin a burger and some fries.
Whoa,
and,
was it a bigot burger?
Yeah, and he goes like, "I'll fucking kill you! You don't do this!
Yeah.
This is a war!" It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh my god!
All-Star Batman is pretty much Heihachi Mishima pre-Tekken 7.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. And then he calls Green Lantern a faggot, which is kind of cool.
Some fucking reason.
Yeah, for no reason. And then just like paints himself yellow and paints an entire room yellow so that Green Lantern can't do stuff. And then like threatens to kill Green Lantern. Then Robin punches Green Lantern in the throat, but like does something to his like esophagus. And Batman's like, "No, you fool! You can't hurt him. Don't kill him. We've got to save him." It's like, man, you've just been threatened to kill the guy for like the last 4 issues. Also, nothing happens.
What did you expect?
Nothing happens in the story, by the way. It is literally just a crazy man. It's literally just Frank Miller having a fucking stroke.
It's just Frank Miller's Heihachi Mishima. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but one of the best lines I can remember is he meets Green Lantern and Green Lantern leaves and he goes, "God, look at that power! His power to do anything. Think of what I could do." But no, it's been given to a faggot like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ! What?
I think that's like the only time that's ever happened to any Green Lantern in the DC comics. Like the only time.
Wait, are we talking about the white guy or the black guy?
No, the white guy.
It's Hal. It's Hal.
Yeah.
Well,
also, like Wonder Woman has sex with Superman.
That's something new.
I'm sure she does. To be honest with you, I can't.
Describe that in very, very detailed.
And that whole thing is part of this stupid movement to try to get Superman and Wonder Woman to hook up because reasons.
But this was ages ago. Also, Batman has sex with Black Canary with the masks on, and it's really awkward. And it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
And then there's a random issue about Batgirl where she fights drug dealers and goes, "This is my cocaine now," and then screams into the air, and it's like,
this all kind of explains why DC doesn't want Batman to have like oral sex with Catwoman in the Harley Quinn show or something.
Yeah.
They don't want to remember.
What the hell are you talking?
Yeah. So,
what the hell is going on?
But yeah, so when people say,
let's just say that DC has a very crazy history with stupid decisions involving Batman.
But it's so realistic.
Yeah, but the thing is, when people say that Snyder got inspiration from Frank Miller, I'm like, yeah, he did, but not from Dark Knight Returns. He got all the inspiration from All-Star Batman and Robin.
It's just to explain it now. It had to have been All-Star, not Dark Knight.
Yeah, it has to be that because there are too many story beats that just fit. So yeah, Snyderbots, I agree with you. He got inspiration from Frank Miller. He just chose the comic where Frank Miller literally was like so high on coke he probably had a stroke and didn't know what he was saying.
Like fucking hell. It's like Snyder Batman just fits that much more with All-Star and instead of Dark Knight just from those things.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, the coke ain't gonna snort itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, back to
Mother's Basement.
Mother's
That
Basement
person, what we were on about?
and Uncharted 4. And it's
Yeah.
kind of funny because during
question.
during yesterday, all he was doing was talking about the Uncharted series and very rarely touching upon Uncharted 4.
And other aspects outside of the game that have barely anything to do with the topic at hand.
Yeah, I would. Well, I wouldn't mind
why
if
is Gears of War on the screen?
Because
I don't know.
Because
he was
He said
comparing-
he said it wasn't like Gears of War. He said it was like Simon Says.
It was trying to compare the main like story and gameplay aspects to Gears of War for some goddamn reason.
No, he didn't say. He said it was nothing like that or Call of Duty. He said it was like Simon Says or something.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
The shooting was
Okay.
like this old original shooting game and Simon Says, which is just, I don't even know.
Well, yeah, either way,
yeah.
it's stupid.
He said he
And
didn't,
it's not
he
a
didn't
joke.
say that it.
Yeah.
Uncharted is just for subhumans.
This isn't a joke.
Yeah,
sure.
Uncharted is just for subhumans, but you can like it if you want. I've got nothing against you. It's like, you know when you press X to fucking doubt that you haven't got anything against me after you've called me a subhuman for liking a video game.
Yeah,
Is
there's nothing wrong with not liking Uncharted. If this
Yeah.
video was titled like the Uncharted series, why I don't like it or the problem with it,
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
do
that'd
that.
be
But
fun.
he's
Yeah.
just talking about Uncharted 4, and he's going on to the Uncharted franchise as a whole, and
Yeah,
saying why
he's like-
gamers are just dumb or something.
Yeah. Gamers are dumb. You should like Life is Strange.
Yeah, if you've
You
never
don't
watched,
understand true cinema.
this is a game for gamers who've never watched movies of certain
Movies.
types, as well as certain games.
No. Who've never watched movies at all. It's like, wait, what? Who hasn't watched a movie?
Yeah, I've never watched a movie. My parents concealed me from movies, but not video games.
Well, Eric, they concealed you from slow cooking, so let's not start,
Well, I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Slow cooking, come on.
Anyway, let's
Yeah, let's
Big
get going.
Spaghetti Hawk.
All right. Here's Mike Testa. Hey, Mike Testa, how you doing? All-Star Batman is borderline parody. It's scary. Frank Miller does have his moments. That was not one of them. So
it was like after the 90s where Frank Miller went absolutely fucking nuts. He literally just turned into like a fucking he's just nuts. Yeah, he's just nuts. He make another like superhero thing, and it was equally as crazy.
And again,
Like
nothing,
the early 90s.
nothing against year one though. That was pretty decent too. But
Yeah,
Star.
yeah.
alrighty.
Seriously, if you don't believe us, just look up. You'll look up the Joker scenes, and you'll just be stood there like going, "What the fuck am I reading?" Because the guy's miserable, and the guy just the Joker gets
Batman,
the Joker.
would you like
the
to reach
Joker.
around?
No, the Joker seduces a woman to murder her, and it's like, how he looks like the Joker. This is a normal woman. He can't just pick her up at a bar.
I mean, he did get Harley, so I don't know.
Yeah, but not literally in a bar to the point where, and literally he calls himself the Joker. That's how he introduces himself, the Joker.
Wait,
to
but he didn't have like a. Actually, we should probably get back to the video.
Yeah, let's get back to the video because it's a weird fucking thing. So
All right. We're at 9 minutes in. This is a 17-minute video, so it won't take us too long. So, yeehaw. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yay!
Uncharted to War and Tomb Raider, but the closest point of comparison I can think of is either Hogan's Alley or Simon. Positioning isn't really important at all over the bulk of the series. Every unscripted combat scenario in Uncharted 1 and 2 is solved by memorizing which enemies try to force you out of cover when.
Gingerman, you're echoing a little bit.
Damn it. Okay, let's see. That's better. Sorry.
That's fine, man. I just don't want to hear this guy twice. It's
you want double the stupidity.
once
I'm
is
out of
enough for me.
cookies.
Yeah, once is enough for me.
Hey,
Oh,
bad boy better.
hey, bad boy. Hey, little
I
man.
was here the whole time. I just had my mic on mute.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
So you were lurking?
And the reason you changed that, I'm joking.
Alrighty, let's go.
Yeah.
Cover when and shooting them first. 3 and 4 mix things up by actually integrating Drake's platforming abilities into the encounters and turning them into arenas, but it's still almost always optimal to hide behind a box with your back to the wall and pick off dudes like you did in every previous game, both because that's all the designers really know how to design, and because when you try platforming you risk getting murdered by a bug. The pirate chapter of Uncharted 3 is the only place in the entire series where constantly staying on the move, swimming in the water, and climbing up ships around the environment is absolutely necessary to get past. It's the only point where the combat in these games approaches being an actual game mechanic that you have to understand to progress. Not coincidentally,
You still need to understand the game mechanics to progress, because if you don't know how to press the trigger, you're gonna die.
Pretty much.
Even the simplest game mechanic, you have to understand how to do it.
I think he's just pointing out that in this scenario, this level design, it's different.
He's just going, all he's saying is, I don't like the combat in Uncharted.
Right, but he's pointing out this level in particular and saying, well, this is the thing where you have to keep moving. And you're like, sure, fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's wrong with that?
But you can, but then it's a bit like a good player can use the platforming to get around and not be shot. It's just, this is the thing, it comes down to the, also he's a game journalist, they're not very good at playing video games, as I've come to realise. So,
well, as he said, so...
If this is his gameplay right here, he sucks at aiming.
If it's his gameplay, he sucks at just moving around.
No, I think I was looking at the video. I don't think he's even playing the game. I think he's just getting gameplay footage.
Probably.
Yeah.
Even with Uncharted 4, it was the demo footage, not even the actual footage.
Yep.
But this thing is like, okay, you've tried, like he showed that platform and he died. Well, yeah, maybe don't just run out of cover when there's loads of people shooting at you. That seems like
called that a bug.
Yeah, that's a bug.
That's not a bug.
That's not a bug. That's
that part where the guy was hanging from something. Just press circle. Just drop down. That easy.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Also, if you're playing,
X, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Also, if you're playing on like the hard difficulties on games, I know people say like it should be good on like normal, whatever. You're meant to like use your brain a bit more than just run, jump, and do stuff. So yeah, you will find yourself hiding behind crates a lot in most games where there's a hard difficulty.
Yeah, I think in the early 2000s, or sorry, late 2000s, early 2010s, there was always another third-person cover shooter, and that just became the norm. So we had a lot to compare to, and that's why we look at the combat. It's nothing sophisticated in Uncharted,
no,
but it's serviceable, which is what the point is. You want.
But the thing is, the reason why third-person cover shooters were so popular and still are popular is because it's a really good system of like. You know when you're in cover, you know when you're safe, you know when you're aiming. Like with first person, it was always a bit iffy with cover because you never knew whether you were properly in or anything like that. It just worked. It was just really nice. And the reason why we think it's generic is because it was done so much. It was something that worked that was done a lot of. So people bash on it, but it's like I'm glad they made a lot of it. It made games, It was an actual mechanic that worked, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, because
frustrating.
I don't know how this doesn't qualify as a real video game. Like so, any game that doesn't have a cover system, that's a real video game. He still has not yet defined what a real video game is.
It's a real video game. Is Simon Says.
If Strange doesn't have a cover system.
Life is Strange. Life is Strange doesn't even have a system. It's just a piece of shit. But you
go there, you go here, you go over there. That's a real video game, I guess.
You go here, you go there, you kill an entire town. But hey ho, at least the lesbians are okay or something. I don't know. Wakanda forever or what shit.
You gotta collect bottles.
Gotta collect bottle caps.
Wow.
What just bottles? Regular bottles.
And all the bottle caps, and then you can buy the laser guns with the
See,
bottle caps.
that's true cinema right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
walk around
true.
a junk card, collect 5 bottles. There you go. That's the entire level.
Collect 5 bottles, and you'll be a true radio star on the big screen.
All right.
Incidentally, it's the part that drew the most complaints from series fans, because they don't want to think about combat strategically.
I want to know where those stats come from of people.
Yeah, where those. Hold on. I'm just getting some information in. Those stats have come from his fucking arse. So
I think so, because I don't remember any. Everyone was saying, "Oh, this level is so awesome because you can go underwater and you can flank them or whatnot." Nobody. The only people that were complaining about this whole sequence was just in terms of the story, because again, it's like we take a left turn from our main direction, right?
Yeah, and I have a feeling that most people who complained about this were game journalists who couldn't understand the mechanic, like what was basically.
No, I mean people liked it. I mean, I don't remember any complaints. Just it's too hard.
Yeah. Games are
They
ridiculously
want feel
easy.
like action movie badasses, and that's Uncharted's biggest selling point, the scripted set pieces. From Uncharted 2 onwards, every Uncharted game is built around a sequence of heavily scripted combat segments set in precarious environments that are being subjected to real physics. In the second game, these areas are a collapsing building and a train, and in the third, they're a sinking cruise ship and a crashing plane. In the new one, they're built around semi-dynamic vehicle chases, which aren't great, but well, really, they aren't great. The vehicles steer like...
They aren't great?
How are they not great?
This is the selling point you just said everyone loves, and they're not great.
They're not great because it's not Life is Strange.
I wish he would provide evidence for this, but he's not going to.
This is like saying, I go to the or the cake shop to buy cakes, but they're not that great. It's like, well, that's all they do. What's wrong with them?
It's like making spaghetti bolognese and being told it's not real spaghetti bolognese. I'm not going to start this argument again.
Well, it's that's subjective. Like, are you telling me you're not that impressed by Nathan Drake survives 9/11 or Nathan Drake survives Titanic? You're telling me that's not impressive in any way?
That's kind of okay.
So, what about movies? You tell me any movies that do this sort of impressive sequence that's not impressive, that's not mind-blowing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's taking the Indiana Jones vibe and feel, saying, hey, there's scenes where Indiana runs away from a trap or something, let's do that. And they kept doing it.
Yeah.
They incorporated chase scenes and escape scenes and all kinds of cool stuff.
Indiana Jones fights a tank.
Yeah,
he's got to save his father. It's a ridiculous sequence, but it's awesome.
Well, yeah, but it's the Indiana Jones formula, but just cranked up to 11.
And they're
it's basically like Mission Impossible.
And they're
at this
not
point.
great. He's saying, I don't know. I was like, okay, great, fine. You don't like them. Why is that?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't like them. That's okay.
Yeah,
he's not going to tell us why.
It's just weird.
Of course not.
The selling point is just not good.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that you go to a game for is just not good. You're like, well, why did you go there then? What's wrong with it?
But
why does it sell
not
so many copies?
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you say I don't think it's great, okay, explain why it's not great. Well, I just don't think it's great. Right, so I can just ignore your opinion because you don't even know your own opinion.
Yeah, like when we talk about games that we know very well, like Mass Effect, we know the main gameplay is choices, the dialogue wheel. And we say, why is the dialogue wheel not so good in Mass Effect 3? And we have all kinds of reasons. We have auto dialogue, we have story mode, we have a lack of options, we have choices that don't matter, we have choices that mean the same thing, whether you choose one of the... Like, there's all kinds of crappy things that happen that didn't happen in the previous games. Yeah. So, yes, we are attracted to that thing because it's the culmination of all your previous choices, which is kind of the point of the whole series, and they don't amount to much, or there's not much you can do, which kind of sucks. Now
they don't amount to a hill of beans in this whole crazy world.
Yeah, well, it's sad to see that, but we can make arguments for why these things don't work. I want to see if it continues.
But that's the thing. It's like, would you even? Okay, so you don't like choice based, or you don't like action set pieces, right? How does that
Alright.
pertain to it not being a real video game? I'm still waiting for that.
That's
answer.
another part, because when we say a scene from a genre of a film or a game doesn't work well, it's like, well, how do you know that? It's because I've had another experience in another game that does these scripted events, and they're much better. And you're like, okay, great, let's compare. And that's what you would do with this argument. You would say, okay, in this game, well, like Uncharted 1 did it best, and da-da-da-da. And then they miss doing that in Uncharted 2 and 3 and 4, or whatever the argument is.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to do that.
Yeah. Is going to be the set pieces in Uncharted don't look anything like the set pieces in Life is Strange, because Life is Strange is a gaming masterpiece, and look at me, I'm a weeb, so I don't know.
Anyway, let's hope he just continues on this line of thought.
Yeah,
something
okay.
out of Halo until they're put on rails, which is the only time anything exciting happens with them. There are also big scripted punch-em-up sections in every game, but like everything else involving melee combat, they're universally terrible.
That is the Pepsi Man.
Okay,
So
I'll give him that. That I don't like the Nadine fights. They're terrible. You're just
Okay.
scripted to lose.
Oh yeah.
Well, now in that particular one, yeah, you're scripted to lose.
No, but in both fights, even with Sam, even though two guys can't beat up a woman, apparently.
Listen,
It's the power of Laura Bailey. Can't beat that.
All I'm saying is I've beaten up plenty of women, and yeah, that's not true. You can easily beat up a woman if you're with another guy.
Fuck, have you ever beaten up Laura Bailey? No, I don't think so.
Actually, she's penciled in for 5 p.m. tomorrow, so we'll find out.
She's an MMA fighter, I guess, so that's why she got the upper hand.
I'd be worried if she shows up with a golf club. Just saying.
It's fine.
Thank
Don't
God
worry
for
about
that,
it. I'll just use a gun. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to just wander in and start saying, "Sounds like you heard of me, Laura Bailey," and then get bludgeoned to death. I'm just going in there shooting both her kneecaps out.
Oh, I love this, by the way. This is what I was talking about. See, this is the E3 demo. This is not real footage.
Oh! So Mother's Basement is disingenuous twat. Wow, we can put that on the bingo card, can't we?
I mean, this scene is in the game, but I don't know how you can tell it's the E3 demo footage.
Because Nathan's more dirty in the E3, and then for some reason in the finished product, he doesn't get as dirty as what you see here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played Uncharted 4.
I mean,
so
I could be wrong.
Still have it.
I just love comparing the E3 and then the final product.
There's always
I think the scales,
yeah,
the resolution.
It's like when you compare
the developer more easily.
It's like when you compare the E3 of Aliens, Colonial Marines to what we've actually got. It's like Chef's Kiss. It's more and more stuff just keeps coming out. I could just rewatch that all the time and laugh.
Still regret murdering that game.
I still laugh at all the comments on the YouTube video with the E3 trailer. Everyone getting so excited. It makes me laugh. It makes me giggle. This game's going to be amazing. Hawk, lol.
I forgot to say. He also
Never forget how Fable 3 turned out.
Oh, oof.
Oh, was that bad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
Fable is one of the series where the first game is as good as it gets.
I always preferred Fable 2. I actually preferred Fable 2.
Fable 2 has a couple redeeming qualities, but it's still not as good as the original.
But Fable 3 compared to Fable 2, you'd have thought that Fable 2 was Fable 3.
Yes.
just in graphic style, story. I mean, it just looks Fable 2 just looks a lot better.
Yeah, unfortunately, the story between the three games reassures you that Fable 3 is Fable 3.
All right, let's go.
I'll admit the shooting set pieces are very impressive from a technical perspective. I mean, everything in these games is, often unnecessarily so. The dynamic fire physics and...
You said that it was meaningless clutter in the last part of the video. You called it meaningless clutter, but it looks impressive now.
Well, this is what's weird. He said,
he called the views. He called like the vistas where you like see out into the rest of the city as meaningless clutter.
well, he thinks the whole franchise is meaningless clutter.
It's cluttered though. He says
You go to exotic places. That's ugly, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I want to say, he said it's unnecessary to be this impressive on a technical standpoint.
Yeah, unnecessarily impressive. It's like, okay.
What is
unnecessary? The first example he gives is Uncharted 3.
What's unnecessary?
Imagine being told like after sex, God, you're unnecessarily impressive. It's like, thank you. I don't know how to take this.
Yeah, you rode me harder than you ever did. That's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah. Couldn't you have been like averagely poor or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure if these are oxymorons or he's just trying to sound contrary. Like he's impressed, but he doesn't think they're good, which doesn't make any sense.
Hard to tell.
Remove the oxy part of oxymoron, and you get the answer to your question.
Yes,
and you get the actual.
Well, imagine saying that about like a steak. It's like it was so unnecessarily cooked to perfection. Why? What?
Yeah,
I don't know how that makes sense.
You did this amazing cook, chef, but you didn't have to. You're like, what? No. Unless we're talking about like Kobe beef, and I prefer it a certain way, and you don't need to cook very much, then I'd be like, okay, you did a very well done steak, but I wanted it medium rare. But that would have been a very specific request.
Yeah, but that's because that's what you requested. But if you just went, I want a steak, and
right,
just do it as best you can, and the guy makes it incredibly impressive. You don't go, well, I would have liked it, but it's too impressive. The guy is woven in his.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10, but I really wanted it to be an 8. You're like, what?
Yeah. At that point, the chef should be legally allowed to stab you in the face with whatever.
And at that point, the chef is like, "Get out of here, Ryan Johnson."
Get out of here.
This is the best set piece I've ever seen, but it really shouldn't have to be that good. You're like, what? Why?
I don't know. This is. I get
for games to be exceptional.
If you want to say stuff like that, that's fine. But I would think that you would say thank you. I appreciate that. But he's not doing that. He's just like, wow, you cooked it to perfection. I'm kind of bothered by it.
Yeah. Oh, do you put effort into your video game? So now I can't just call it stupid and rubbish, and I'll have to think up some actual arguments. And my brain doesn't do that because I like Life is Strange, and obviously I'm retarded.
Oh my god, this is the most backhanded compliment. Dude, you don't like the game. We get it. Just say I don't like it.
That's that.
But it's also
That's
impressive.
Right. Just say you don't like it.
Mother's Basement's videos are unnecessarily unimpressive. It's like, I don't like him. I don't have to lie about not liking him.
I would say they're both unnecessary and unimpressive, not together.
That's impressive.
It's impressive how unnecessarily unimpressive they are.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Stop talking, please.
My head's starting to hurt again now.
That is.
My head's actually starting to hurt now that I start thinking about it.
Stop saying crazy things, please. Oh my god. It's bad enough we gotta watch this guy.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
Physics and 3 are totally pointless in such a linear scripted game, but they sure make a neat bullet point for the box, and they look fucking fantastic. And I guess they did kind of enhance The Last of Us, so I'll give that a pass.
Oh, what the fuck is... What is happening here? What is he talking about?
Wait, hold on. Why? So wait,
can we rewind that again? Because I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Let's hear that in full context.
Why did he bring that up?
What the fuck?
All right, here we go.
Totally pointless in such a linear scripted game, but they sure make a neat bullet point for the box, and they look fucking fantastic. And I guess they did kind of enhance The Last of Us, so I'll give that a pass.
So they look great, and as a result of their development of making them look great, they then applied that technology and learnings and experience to The Last of Us, which made that even better.
Well, that's just
Yeah.
common sense.
Yeah, a studio would just...
So wait, so The Last of Us used stuff from Uncharted, so
Yeah.
you'll give it a pass because it's The Last of Us.
Well, that's what's
No,
weird
that's
because
not
he
the
said
past,
Uncharted it wasn't. He said it on Uncharted it was pointless, but in Last of Us, it actually did something.
Okay, so the idea is
Okay,
that
okay.
I don't know.
a studio learns to do a technique. He doesn't like it the first way through, even though it's impressive. He just doesn't like it. But because he sees it in a game he does like, therefore it's good.
Yeah. So in Northern English
Okay.
slang, my response would just be, for the love of God, get The Last of Us cock out your mouth and start talking sense. Okay. And that's it.
I would say get it out of his ass because clearly he's making these
Oh, no. It's
dumbass arguments.
He's taking a specific truth about Naughty Dog and spinning it for his argument. And it's pretty fucking obvious that everything Naughty Dog learns about in a certain generation, they carry it over to the next one. It's like everything they learned from developing Crash Bandicoot, they transitioned over to Jak and Daxter. Everything they learned from Jak and Daxter, they moved it to Uncharted. Everything from Uncharted, they moved to The Last of Us, and so on. For whatever they use from The Last of Us for the next generation. And it's like he's spinning that one aspect of Naughty Dog's like design philosophy for his own means.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's weird about it because they even took Last of Us mechanics and put it into Uncharted 4. For example, there's little sequences where you can interact with like the environment or people, just like in Last of Us. You want to trigger a conversation? There you go. So it's really weird that Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole point is that Naughty Dog is just one of those companies where it's very fucking obvious. It's out in the open that what they learn in one generation, they transition over to the next one to refine it. The way he's using it here is just, it's like, first of all, common sense. The second of all is that doesn't necessarily give it a pass in The Last of Us when in Uncharted it would suck. That's just the learning curve.
Doesn't every studio do this, though?
We're talking about...
I like to use NetherRealm as an example.
What I'm saying is that Naughty Dog is the most open about it out of all the developers currently.
We could say
they're the most open about transitioning from one generation to the next.
What
That's all I'm saying.
Is we can do this outside of a studio. This happens in game design all over. We get inspired, or a developer gets inspired by another game and say, hey, they did dialogue this way, we're going to try something like that. Or they did shooting this way, we're going to try something like that. So we always say, oh, this reminds me of that other game I played with the shooting mechanic or the base building mechanic. So it's not just inter-studio, it's exter. So it's outside, and everyone's inspired. Everyone, it doesn't even even if you're not a developer, you're inspired by video games. Oh, that's a great concept. And then we see that in, I don't know, some mobile game or whatever. So these things are how the genre and the format and the whole industry gets better. And he is just favoring one game over the other, I'm assuming, because it's more his speed, it's more his taste. I'm not sure, but it's around.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the shooty, jumpy bits, but he likes the parts in The Last of Us.
Wow,
this slower, I guess.
He's gonna be sorely disappointed when he sees Last of Us Part 2. And they start being jumping around. And
Mateus sent me a message saying that one of the comments in the chat was that he could be saying that Naughty Dog spends too much time on the set scenes rather than the core gameplay. And I think if that's what he's talking about, that's fair, but I don't think he is.
No, he's not talking about it.
Yeah,
but also
if you want to make that argument, go ahead.
On the set scene, but it's like they spend too much on these big scenes. It's like, okay, but the core gameplay is basic, and it's something that they know works, or has worked for a number of games.
Well, it's weird because he just said it's the selling point to have all these great sequences and then set pieces and have the graphics be up to the best looking that it can be.
Yeah. yeah, that's fine. But it's just one of the things where it's a bit like the gameplay. The gameplay looks okay for this type of game. It's not overly complicated. It's not, it just works for the game that it is. So
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to keep recreating the wheel each time you make the new game. In the franchise, you can just keep it the same.
yeah.
If it worked the first time, why change it so much in the second time?
Yeah, I mean, it's not trying to be like Last of Us, where you have like a system, you have to, like a health kit, and then, I don't know, other tools so you can craft or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just shoot the bad guys, that's it.
That's all it needs to be.
Last of Us is pretty much the opposite of Uncharted. The Uncharted is like he says, it's a big action set piece, whereas Last of Us is mainly stealth with some action set pieces, and
where you should be using guns as like a real last resort thing.
Exactly. You can't go in guns blazing in Last of Us unless they specifically tell you
that you can.
Or if you're playing it on super easy and you just don't give a shit. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I would love to see this guy explain the scene in Last of Us 1 where Joel is hanging upside down by the trap, and he's got unlimited ammo for his revolver.
Oh,
Explain that.
He never has to reload.
I think he does, but it's like unlimited ammo. It's like, wait a minute, I've got way too... I don't have this much ammo. I think he has to reload, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I played it, but...
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog put in a lot of work to make it feel like real physics are acting on Drake during these segments, while also giving the player a solid level of control over his actions. If you boil it down, these bits are so...
This looks like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. God, this just looks boring. I wish I was a preteen girl, just pointing and clicking in a video game.
You're just going to keep saying that. That's funny.
Sorry, his argument went out the window the minute he went, "Life is strange," and I'm like, yeah, no.
You see, Hawk, the sequence is just meaningless clutter.
Yeah, meaningless clutter. Why can't we just be in a preteen girl's bedroom? I mean, yeah, I'm like...
See, this job, could you imagine him in reality? He's just like, this job, I don't really need it. It's meaningless clutter. I wish I was a preteen girl.
Like,
ooh, okay. Oh, God.
Anyway.
But yeah, this sequence does look fun. So...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a plane crash. How is that not fun?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well.
I know what you're gonna say. No.
We can move on. We can easily move on.
Let's move on.
Anyway, 9/11.
So heavily, they're basically Dragon's Lair, but they don't feel like it. Uncharted sells you the illusion of control like Telltale games sell you the illusion of choice. You're basically doing QuickTime events with very generous timing, but because they use the same control scheme as the shooting and jumping, it seems like you have more control than you actually do. And that's fun.
What?
Where are we going with this?
Wait,
So
hold on.
It's all good. It's fun.
But he's saying gun combat is like the equivalent to decision-based games? Or quick-time event.
Let's rewind.
Yeah,
Let's rewind.
Games.
Rewind.
Sorry,
Guys, hold on.
Shit.
Let's hear
Right,
it.
hold on. Let's hear.
Over his actions. If you boil it down, these bits are so heavily scripted that they're basically Dragon's Lair, but they don't feel like it. Uncharted sells you the illusion of control like Telltale games sell you the illusion of choice. You're basically doing QuickTime events with very generous timing, but because they use the same control scheme as the shooting and jumping, it seems like you have more control than you actually do. And that's fun. Unfortunately, these moments kind of ruin the rest of the gameplay.
All right. So he has boiled it down to Dragon's Lair, which is just a quick time.
Which at this point in time, nothing compares to it anymore.
Right.
Hold on. He said it's just like Dragon's Lair, but it's not. That was his words.
Yeah.
And the gun combat is somehow like exaggerated QuickTime events.
Isn't like the entirety of Dragon's Lair a quick time event?
Well, he's
Like,
saying,
well,
Like, I've
he's
never
saying
played
it's,
it personally, so
We can
he's
blame Don
saying
Bluth for
it's,
that.
it's fun, but it takes away from the core game. Like, what, was it the core gameplay or just the gameplay as a whole? I don't know.
The gameplay as a whole.
The gameplay as a whole,
But
yeah.
the core gameplay is to have fun.
Yeah, but the thing is, he goes like, God, this fun thing's taken away from the core gameplay, which I
guess
called
he-
boring.
Apparently,
it's
he
like,
can't
wait,
have fun
so-
with games.
No. But his words are literally come down to this fun bit is taken away from the core gameplay, which I find boring, and I think only idiots would enjoy. It's like, so why are you
Like-
complaining about these fun
Well,
things
I think-
then?
Stupid.
he also
This
said-
action bit is part of the core gameplay. And I'm not.
I think he
But-
didn't he say something about like these action set pieces are like quick time events? How?
No, he was
I
saying
mean,
that- he was
did say
saying-
that?
He was saying like the gunplay is somehow like quick time events. It gives you the
Okay,
illusion
That's what I
of
was getting
control.
at. Sorry.
Not at all.
Yeah. But all gunplay is a quick time
Quick-
event because
Quick
you're
time
clicking the
events with generous timing. So not quick time events.
yeah, but here's the thing: gunplay is a quick time event. You've got to be quicker than the enemy and putting the bullet in them. So if you want to be like that, then yeah, sure, okay. But
Is
That's-
every
that's
third person
that's
shooter
stretch.
like that then? So Red Dead's just a
No.
quick time event.
yeah,
Yeah,
Red Dead is just like it's just a cowboy quick time event.
Yeah, and they're not. They're not as bare bones as Uncharted.
Yeah, Deadeye is just an illusion of control.
Yeah,
Oh god.
Deadeye is just
What the
is
fuck,
just,
dude?
The fuck is that illusion of control? Fuck you.
Smut, does that make any sense?
What, the game mechanic?
The illusion of control.
It
what does
depends
that
on
mean?
what the result of control is. If you are actually given control of something and you can do what it's intended to do, that's not an illusion, that's the actual result. What he's usually referring to when you talk about an interface
definitely-
or an input device or whatever, is that it gives you the idea of controlling a character. You're not actually having full control. That's what people say. You don't have full control. It's like, of course, nothing has full 100% control, or else you'll be able to do anything. And it's
especially Dragon's Lair.
it's mostly just X and Y coordinates, or Z and X coordinates, because you're going left and right in a car or whatever. And that's about it. And you could argue, well, there's no acceleration that's good enough. There's not enough handling. There's not enough top speed. There's all kinds of things you're not in control of, or you don't have to. You have the capacity to manipulate. Like when you talk about Gran Turismo, you can modify your car and it can go faster and longer or whatever. So there is a certain understanding of control that gives you the ability to modify that control. And this is what people get into arguments about game design, because like, well, you can't do this in this game, which is Gran Turismo. I can't do that in the other racing games. Like, that's true. But is it supposed to? Was it designed to do that? Because you're not building a car, you're just racing a car. So they expect you to have more options, more gameplay features. And sometimes that's not part of the game design or part of,
Not
like, why would you compare these
So-
two different games, right? So-
Sometimes less is more.
it really depends, because this game is much more streamlined, and that's the point. You want to allow a larger fan base to get into this action-oriented game, which is simple and easy to control. You're not expecting Gears of War level of detail. You're not expecting power slides and grappling hooks and stuff like in or Just Cause, or all kinds of other crazy physics, because it's not supposed to. It's not open world. So,
Yeah, it's not like combat heavy. It's not that stealth heavy.
right. So the argument comes down to scope. How big is this input device, and what does it allow you to do? So that is what people start arguing when they say, "Oh, you don't have full control." It's like, I want more options. It's like, yeah, everyone wants more options. I always want more options.
Yeah.
I want non-lethal takedowns, but the game isn't about that.
Yeah, I would like to use a silenced pistol.
Sure.
I think that would help me a lot.
Right,
I
but
didn't put it in there.
that would take a lot more game design. There would have to be bonuses for not doing, or let's imagine there's no bonus. Let's imagine just the capacity to do something. No storytelling elements, no so stories would have to be slightly altered if they like harp on you for killing people, because like, I didn't kill anyone. What are you talking about? So there's lots of little things you'd have to change if it was a game design mechanic just to have the knockout bullets or the knockout darts. And people don't consider that because they're making a shooter. They're making a game where you jump around and shoot people, and that's fine. So it's always a game design limitation.
Dragon Slayer is definitely the illusion of control, though.
It's not control. It's just a QuickTime event that no one knew what they were at the time. So now that we have games which are focused on that or have that as one of the many elements, like in the Telltale games, it's like, okay, that is the idea of seeing a scripted event play out like a movie. And you are
Thanks, God of War and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, if he was just talking about like the set pieces in this game, yeah, I guess they're.
Yeah, you can make the argument here for a set piece because there's actual gameplay which gives you a bit more control, and the set piece which is on rails. It's like, why can't I just stop my car? It's because you're chasing another car.
It's all thanks to God of War and Resident Evil 4. Mostly.
Yeah.
It's not a huge problem. I don't see it as a huge issue. It really depends on if it's like.
No, I don't either. It's just that's where it started. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, like if Nathan Drake had a grappling hook in normal combat and he can just jump around it like crazy, it's like, why aren't you letting me do that in the scripted event? Like that would be a huge glaring issue.
Yeah.
So because it's such a simple interface, you can't make too many arguments about that, which is why it's good, which is why I think it works well.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
But somehow it's not a real video game.
He hasn't defined his terms, so we can't.
I know. I don't think he's gonna do it now. We're nearly to the end, and he's not gonna do it.
Well, of course not. Of course he's not gonna do it.
Like that's what you should preface your video before you even start it. Like,
oh my god, I can't.
Here's the criteria it meets.
I can't believe you'd actually think he'd do it.
I didn't think. He should have done it. He's not going to do it.
That's your problem. You don't think.
I don't think. What?
All right, let's go on.
Just like how these people don't think.
Yeah,
I saved that for important matters.
Like slow cooking.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to think it's slow cooking.
Whatever that is.
You just turn on the heat and just go read a book.
What? Go read a book? I thought you said go eat a book.
Oh, I saw cookbook.
You can do whatever you like in your spare time, Hog. That's fine.
We won't judge.
Just keep stuffing your mouth with spaghetti.
Naughty Dog wants you to have a very specific experience in these parts. Things like consistent weapon damage and movement controls kind of fly totally out the window. Normally on hard mode, you have to hit a guy in the chest with half an AK-47 clip in order to put him down, but during set pieces, that same enemy will fall to 1 or 2 bullets, and conversely, Drake can soak up quite a lot more damage. It's like you're playing a totally different game. Mechanics constantly change to fit the designer's vision. It feels cool in the moment, but in the long term, it destroys any sense of agency. To extend that,
I would say it changes the sense of agency. It doesn't destroy it because you're talking about a different interface. So you understand the rules are different. You go, oh, okay, I can take more bullets now, or those guys' bullets aren't as strong for whatever reason. So
you can still get killed in those sequences
for sure.
Yeah, it is.
I disagree with that. It's
still part of the progression of the design.
It is still consistent.
Well, that's the thing. Like these set pieces have to be designed a very scripted, specific, on rails sort of way. And if you start playing around with difficulty settings, like the enemies are twice as strong or have twice the hit points, they're not going to work.
Oh yeah.
So
that's fine. Yeah,
I
wish I would go into detail about it. Like
at least not
like
as well.
Like the example I would pull is that that truck with the turret. You can't damage it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But as soon as Sam picks you up and he gives you like a submachine gun, now all of a sudden it can do damage.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And that's the inconsistency.
Yeah,
that's
the latest example of that scripted event was the bug, or there's many bugs, but the one bug from Cyberpunk where you're being chased by a truck or whatever, you're chasing a truck, and you could totally kill everyone in the truck, but you still have to follow the same path, even though the truck has no one in it because you killed everyone. or the guy's a bullet sponge and he just won't die, and you're like just unloading clip into him. So yeah, there is a problem with scripted events, and you could argue definitely that Uncharted has some so big that they sort of break the setting of the world you're in.
The immersion, yeah.
Yeah, the immersion aspect. So that's the problem with scripted events, because they have to follow the script. And we know that when you change the difficulty, things are different. And that's just
absolutely. But I think like you would either have to stop playing or you would continue playing. I don't know how I want to phrase this. It's
some people
like, because Uncharted is ridiculous, I don't know who goes into playing the whole game, especially with all of the set pieces, and maybe there's an inconsistency or two.
Yeah,
but I don't know who stops and thinks about it and says, "Yeah, that broke my immersion."
Because some players are hardcore and they like, well, I'm really good at shooting game. Like, I don't know, they're like hardcore Unreal players or whatever, and they're really, really strict on. No, that was a hit. That was a headshot. That guy should be dead. And maybe that doesn't happen very well. So, a lot of gamers will stop playing a game because the gameplay is inconsistent. So it does happen, but that's a very specific.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
group of people, and I can respect that. But once you're playing a game like this, your brain sort of goes, oh, "Okay, I know what's going on. This is not rocket science. I know what's going on." So,
like watching a Michael Bay movie.
Yes, I would be hesitant to agree completely.
Not to that extent, but the logic of it is there.
That's what I meant. There's something about the Michael Bay experience that I would say is on par, because it is a movie and it's exciting and things blow up and there's shooting. But because we're talking about Indiana Jones and that's the inspiration, it's very like guys in a car, guys in another car, he's chasing you down. It's not like Bullet. It's more like, there's a bunch of, I wouldn't say monkeys flying in the trees. That's kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's like too much. That's too far. But more like there's just two cars and they're chasing each other down. You're shooting back at each other. That's about it.
Yeah, and I've had the same experience like with Ghost of Tsushima, where I go in thinking, I can just cut up anybody who I want, and then it's not as easy as you think. There's a challenge. You have to learn about the combat. So you quickly realize what kind of game it is and what you have to.
The great thing about Tsushima is there's so much. I wouldn't say tutorial, but they just sort of help you along the way, because it's a big world, and they took the effort to have like a little mini tutorial every so often, and show you. You have to. This is how this works. Like, okay, great. So those games are kind of necessary. Like, those elements. Like, same with Devil May Cry 3.
Oh wait, sorry.
Devil May Cry 3, it's like you get a new weapon. It's like, what does this do? Oh, it does this, and you have to use this, and this is how this works. It's like they have to train you how to use each thing you pick up, or else you're screwed. Yeah. So that's kind of normal stuff.
Yeah, or like the rarity of a weapon.
At one time in DMC5, where they basically the tutorial how to be Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
If only like Chloe had like the weapon tutorial, so she couldn't shoot herself in the stomach. Like with a car door.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Chloe from Uncharted.
Ooh.
No, why do I talk about Uncharted? Life is Strange is coming out.
It is. They are.
Is it? Yeah.
Aren't they?
All right, let's keep going. Here's Mike Testa. Hey, Mike, how you doing again? Did he answer the goddamn Smudcast's question of UC4? I don't think so. No, he didn't.
Nope. I'm still waiting.
Did he answer the question? No, he hasn't, and he never will.
He hasn't even answered his own evidence. He hasn't even answered his own fucking question yet.
He's got less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, he has.
Pepsi Man. Yeah, I doubt he's gonna get there.
Never forget Pepsi Man.
Well, I'm probably gonna get copyright strike at the end of this because
I have no idea what.
Just for saying that one thing, really?
Oh, I got 4 of them last time, so
Jesus,
that's fine.
What, for Pepsi Man?
No. He used a bunch of copyrighted material, so.
So why isn't he getting like done for copyright? Then?
Well, that was years ago, so I'm sure he got it figured out by then. But these guys just use whatever they like, and. It's like, oh shit, that's not good.
Oh, well, shall we just like try and like I don't know. I was going to say just mute the music, but then it mutes him. But that might not be a bad idea.
We just got to pause
I
more
don't
often,
know.
but that'll take a little longer. So we'll just do our best.
Yeah, just pause more often. I'll just talk more about spaghetti bolognese and shit. I don't know.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Shitty DM analogy. Imagine your DM decides that for one part of the dungeon, any roll above 10 is a crit because he wants you to feel cool. Some cool shit will probably go down, but after that's over, the rules of the game lose all meaning for the rest of the campaign.
Okay, that's pretty awesome, whatever that animation was, but he
Flip
is
table.
yeah, he is conflating ideas. He is because a D&D game is scripted. The whole thing is scripted, but the format changes when you talk about a scripted set piece in Uncharted.
Yeah.
So
What does this have to do with a shooter like Uncharted, though?
his analogy was just bad. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I know. All right, whatever.
Yeah. Don't.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah. This is a very small point.
And depending on the kind of campaign you want to play, that's fine. You might love that, and if you do, I highly recommend Fiasco. But if you're like me, a part of why you play games is to understand how their systems work and master them. There's nothing worse than feeling like you can't.
Okay, right. That music's getting too louder than his voice. And there's no fucking settings for captions. Great. Okay.
His
Why
argument
is
is
he playing
still
the music?
scripted is bad. That's the same.
Okay, that's fine because I'm struggling to actually hear him over the music. I'm getting like Jazz FM.
Want to
in my
rewind
ear.
it again?
No.
No. It's perfectly
No,
fine.
he
I'm just
Watch the
pointing
whole
out
video
that
again.
all I'm going to point out is people. If you're going to add music, stop making music louder than your voice.
Yeah,
Or just
it
don't
is
add
getting
music.
louder than him.
I don't mind it. Just make it soft. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm getting like Louis Armstrong having a stroke with his trombone in my ear. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? This is This is
so
crazy.
You're not a jazz person.
Maybe
I'm-
he thinks if I play the music loudly, they won't be able to understand what I'm saying. So that way nobody can argue with me.
Possibly. Also, yeah, I like jazz.
It's even worse.
Then how-
Just
Well, that's,
just not in
if
Mother's
that's-
Basement videos.
If that's the case, I don't know how anybody could agree with you, but sure. Great move, Mother's Basement.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Can't trust a game's rule set unless that's the point, like in Paranoia. Uncharted pretends to be something that I enjoy, a shooter, and something that I love, a stealth game. But it is only either of those things fleetingly, and when it stops or fails at being those things, it's infuriating. The only game Uncharted is good at pretending to be is Crash Bandicoot. Even supposed non-games like Dear Esther and Gone Home at least have
Okay. So he's, he knows that Dear Esther and Gone Home are non-games. Thank you. We agree. It's a very
Pretty much a walking simulator.
walking adventure, whatever, click on object game, whatever you want to call that. I don't know. Simulation? Yeah, I don't know. But at least he said that much. It's like he knows what games are to an extent and what is not a game. And
I don't think so. I think somebody
On
told
the-
him, and
on
he
the-
decided to use it for the video.
oh yeah.
On the other hand, he brought up the thing that I was finally waiting for, that bring up any kind of point about Crash Bandicoot in relation to this.
It's like
Mhm.
Crash Bandicoot because they both climb stuff.
I think the
It's like, yeah,
standard
No, the
is
po-
Crash Bandicoot is good. Therefore, if it's not as good as Crash Bandicoot, it's not a game or something like that.
yeah, that is trying to pretend to be something else. It's not as
Pretending
good
to
as
be
the
a
thing it's
stealth game.
pretending to be.
It's
then
like
it's not.
how is it pretending to be a stealth game? Though?
Yeah, like there's,
It is a stealth game
there's so
in a
many
way.
different stealth games and mechanics of detail and accuracy, like Thief. Like that is everything is focused on walking quietly, moving swiftly, and knocking people on the back of the heads with your blackjack and using water arrows, and everything is about stealth. Like the whole game is about stealth. You can barely fight in that game. And then you have games like Metal Gear where it's sort of quasi stealth and people
The
with
grandfather of modern stealth.
yeah, it's kind of getting there. And then it's become futuristic stealth where you have like stealth camo. It just doesn't even matter. You just run around, no one can see you.
I mean, then again, it was like that since the beginning. Remember, Metal Gear 1 and 2 were no strangers like some of the crazy shit.
When you get the new game plus.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't get worse. I'm just saying that it's nothing new for Metal Gear in general.
Right. It's the camo option is a new element that's nice. But yeah, you're right.
That
There's-
specifically, yes.
Yeah, so there are many mechanics that lots of stealth games don't even include or have or ever were aware of. And he's like, this is not much of a stealth game. It's like, you're right. It's not much of a stealth game. Does it get the job done?
No.
Yes. Does it have to be extremely complicated? That's the problem with stealth games or the argument with stealth games is because you can go stealth, but you can always suck at it. And then you have to go guns blazing. And that's the point. When you play Deus Ex, you have the stealth option. And if that screws up, you can always go guns blazing. And he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. That's an
The Hitman
element.
series.
Assassin's Creed as well. It's like if you can't get away from like enemies in a chase, you can just stop and fight them with your sword. And then when the stuff clears, you keep going.
The wonderful aspect of these types of games is it's encouraging to do the stealth, the sophisticated,
different playstyles within a genre that you would think would be restricted to a certain playstyle, but no, it lets you do a lot more, especially nowadays.
Yeah, and with the streamlined nature of Uncharted, you can get away with both to a degree. The stealth has its limitations, but the fighting is always going to be, you can always win with fighting. With other
definitely
games,
to a degree because in Uncharted it's not entirely the focus.
Right, and with other games like the original Deus Ex and I would argue parts of Assassin's Creed, you cannot go fully combat oriented. You just can't do it. It's not going to work. You're gonna Assassin's Creed lets you do it, but not too often enough where it's like you feel comfortable with the mechanics where you can experiment more, but not too much where it's broke. Not to the extent where it could be broken. And you're still running for cover to hide. You're always trying to get back to normal.
The whole point of the series is that you're learning to always stay hidden.
Blending in with your surroundings,
It's kind of like getting levels to your character, but instead of actual stats, it's the ability and practice.
The skill of
level design, getting around objects and problems. That is the focus of these games, and to have that jump from stealth to combat, or stealth to adventure, or stealth to speed to running fast, or whatever, running away, like that is the beauty of that design, and it can work wonderfully. And he just thinks it's done better in other games, and I agree, it is done better in other games, but it doesn't have to be as good as Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's the weird argument that he's making, because
like look at the parkour in Assassin's Creed. It's much better there than it is in Uncharted.
Yeah, but it's like, go look at games like GTA. So it has racing elements. Are you telling me it has to be a good racing game?
Yeah, that's the argument. If it's not GTA, it's not good, right? So everyone has to emulate GTA because that's the big seller. And it's like I don't want a GTA clone or a ripoff. I want GTA. Let GTA do its thing. Have its $100 million budget or whatever it does, and let me have a nice action-oriented platforming / combat / stealth adventure, dramatic Indiana Jones experience. So like Indiana Jones the movie is a series of action adventure things. There's stealth. He's quiet. He's sneaking up on people. He's hiding behind things. He has gunfights. He has fist fights.
He stands out in the open with a bazooka.
He does lots of things.
Yeah, and then the big set pieces, like running from Boulder or opening the Ark.
Exactly,
it's like things like that.
So
the major
sleeping with a blonde German.
So we have to have this dynamic range of scope. There's all these things, but you can't flesh them all out. You can only do a little piece here, a little piece there, a little. It's like a buffet, and you're gonna eat every single thing at the buffet. You can't stuff yourself too much. You can't kill the player with too much content. You have to go a little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, it's like with Dishonored. They try to do two things. You could go stealth and guns blazing.
With its own results, but
I'm not saying it's going to be it was great. All I'm saying is they tried to do something. The only problem is they made going guns blazing so much easier than stealth, to the point where it's like you you're just easy just killing absolutely everybody. It's just
because
so
it is
easy.
because it is definitely so easy to fall into the trap of having certain gameplay elements only for others to completely invalidate what should be the primary focus of the core gameplay.
Yeah, there's certain parts where it's like trying to do the game with like non-lethal takedowns
Right.
is just it's just one of the things where you just bit like it's so much easier just to send a plague of rats to eat literally every single enemy in that game rather than sneak around and try and knock people unconscious.
That's interesting when we look at the sequel to Deus Ex Human Revolution, like Mankind Divided. They
Mankind
amped
Oh, did
up.
they make a sequel? That's awesome.
Oh, it's cool, but
They
they amped up the combat, so you have even more options for fighting, but everyone still plays it as if they're stealth. Like all the people I see play it, they always like drop all the weapons that are lethal and get the sniper rifle, which is non-lethal darts, and use all the other takedowns because that's how they want to play. That's their style.
I mean, remind me, Mankind Divided is still before Deus Ex 1, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What's interesting is I'm starting to think about like RPGs. It's almost the same thing where you have so many skills that you can choose to focus what skill you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Like stealth or combat or weapons. And it's just weird because to get back to Muttered Basement, it's almost like he's saying, "Oh, Uncharted is not a good RPG."
It's not trying to be.
I don't.
The baseline issue that I'm seeing with his argument is that he seems to not like realize the potential for how modular video games can be, and because Uncharted came out during the point where video games were like trying to mishmash certain genres to get a much more unique result. Like a lot of the story-driven games came out of that, like experimentation.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like it's just that looks like he just, instead of like just accepting the fact that games can have multiple different aspects of other genres while still focusing on a different one altogether, instead of just like we've been saying earlier, it's like if it's not good as this certain thing, it's not good. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Bud.
Yeah, it's pointless. It's a facade.
Right. That's
games
why
can take. Yeah, go ahead.
That's why I was referencing Deus Ex, because they made the focus of you can do stealth, you can do combat, you can do non-lethal, you can do the hacking route, which is really a combination of stealth anyway. But you have these alternate options. And once you think of that, then you have to structure the rest of the game around that, because it's so much effort to have robust systems where there's multiple options of choice.
Yeah, the variety of other elements that still are consistent with the core gameplay, while at the same time still letting you do a lot with what you have.
Yeah, and he just doesn't like that the scripted events, which are so awesome, which are awesome to look at, he doesn't realize, he likes them to look at least visually, right? So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, just for that.
And then he doesn't realize, but this takes away from other things. It's like, yes, that's how these things work. That's how it's like making a cake. It's like, well, I can't put steak into a cake, even though I love both cake and steak. It's like, you're right. You have one before and you have one after. You don't combine them together and say, here's my steak cake.
Lunch, dinner, dessert.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You don't have a chef and a baker together and they say, I'm going to make a cake and you're going to make a steak. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
I can just imagine Gordon Ramsay having a heart attack if you told him that.
Oh my
I want to make a steak cake. He just falls over dead.
Pick you up.
Are you fucking mental?
That is the worst Gordon Ramsay impression I've ever heard.
You're not the only one.
He's more manly. Yeah.
Are you mental?
You got me fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been rambling enough. Let's keep going. Tyler,
we got 4 minutes.
Tyler Preston, thank you. Gone Home, the poor man's mist. Mist.
Do you know what I find funny though? Spud's saying we've been rambling. We've not even been here an hour. We've only been here an hour.
An hour and 14 minutes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a mother's basement, because we almost went to 3 hours last night.
I'm trying to keep it sparse, and I'm trying to pause it so we can each have our own say, because he is getting fundamental aspects of game design wrong, as if he's
Yeah.
never reviewed games before. He doesn't think how these things work.
Well,
And
he's a games journalist. Of course, he hasn't reviewed games before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you'd be objective.
you think he'd have some
Right?
insight into how games are like played and why?
No, no, no.
The ironic thing about
He's
that comment.
He's a games journalist.
The ironic
he
thing
doesn't
about
play
that
video
comment,
games.
Hawk, is that he actually made a comment about games journalism at the start of this video. How
Yeah.
of how they
How
don't play the
bad they
game.
were.
Like what they're doing, but if you think about it, they're pretty stupid.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever.
All right, let's,
That's what he said. That's his words.
I know. It's
I mean,
weird.
I'm paraphrasing, but
it's like it's like with Neuralities when she was like, "This is paedophilia." As a paedophile myself, I should know. With like Mum's
Yeah,
Basement, he's like,
exactly.
Games journalists are retards. As a retard myself, I should know.
Oh yeah,
it's
no.
like
My favorite. I really
stop using
dislike.
that as a defense.
I really dislike Isekai. I've only watched 4, but the 2 of them I watched were good. And you're like, what? Like, okay.
So,
Nah,
so
Neuralities
what's
are
bad about
hypocrites,
so what's bad about them? Well, I just don't like the other two. Congratulations, you found nuance.
Yeah, there's
Things might be
more
different.
women than men. Or I mean, there's more men than women.
Yeah, I have
That's a
my
problem.
I have my Isekai in my closet. I'm just waiting for the industry to come out and pull me out of my closet. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
we can go on and on about all these crazy people who say
Yes, please.
stuff. Okay.
Consistency, how they allow you to interact with them. Their rules are simple, but at least they have rules. Even David Cage doesn't lie about his QuickTime events being QuickTime events, even if he does lie about how much they affect the game.
Okay, so I don't know what he
What?
implied about that, but there are so many. The whole game is QuickTime events in Heavy Rain, and there are
Heavy
some
Rain, yeah.
QuickTime events that are
Right.
so stupid that don't make sense, and they're every
For
other.
example.
Jason.
Well, taking a piss, wiping your ass, taking a shower.
Whoa, what?
Like,
Do they actually have that? Oh god.
yeah, you have to take your clothes
Yeah.
off and turn the shower. It's like,
Hold on, Smud.
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
telling me
that's
that
good.
every time you have a shit, it's not a quick time event?
I don't
It's a
think in
slow
terms
time
of
event.
I don't think in terms of an input device. Like I have to now rotate my wrist to reach behind my back and do a grabbing motion.
Listen, whenever
Reach around.
whenever I'm wiping my ass, I'm always thinking, am I pressing triangle fast enough?
Yeah, is this the correct method to balance the input device and output method? I don't know.
If I don't press square, my finger will go through the paper and I'll just be all bad.
I just imagine a creepy guy going, press square very slowly. Take your time. Oh yeah. Like, whoa, okay.
Jesus.
Oh, seriously,
Calm
go
down,
a bit
bro.
faster.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Speed it up.
Let's not joke about that.
Let's stop. Just...
Uncharted is clearly an experience that a lot of people, Digibro and Endless Jest, for example, enjoy, and I don't begrudge them for that. But as much as it's not really a movie, it's not.
Hold on, you call people who like this game subhuman, so you obviously begrudge them for liking the game. Or else you wouldn't call people who like the game subhumans.
Yeah, they just
Also-
don't understand real cinema. They don't understand games. Like, come on. They've never played games before, like I have. But I'm not begrudging them.
No.
Yeah, I'm not begrudging them, but they are subhumans. So
Yeah, you just deserve to die. I
yeah,
don't mean anything by it.
Dude.
I love how he just backtracks everything he says.
I love how
Yeah.
I love how he mentioned 2 YouTubers that he knows is probably going to kick his ass. And he's like, but I don't begrudge them liking it. It's like, okay. Well, I know you're
It's just
friends
a
with
way to
those
weave
2 people.
criticism somehow.
It's always I'm gonna put my 2 feet forward, then bring my 2 feet back, and then put my other foot forward once. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just commit
It's
to
like,
an
dude,
idea.
you said it. Why are
Yeah.
you trying to take back what you said now?
Yeah, just accept you literally want a final solution and all Uncharted fans, and just go along with it. It's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
Again, you don't have to like the game. But you
Yeah.
haven't proven what it means to be a real video game, or how Uncharted 4 in particular
Yeah, the only
isn't
thing
a real video game.
the only thing he's done is say actual parts he doesn't like because other games do it better. You're like, I agree. You're totally right that other games of those specific genres, which are designed to do those things, do it much better. I agree. Yes.
It's like saying like Call of Duty is better than FIFA because the shooting mechanic in Call of Duty is better than the one in FIFA. I'm like, well, yeah, I know.
Well, it's like
You don't
comparing.
shoot anyone
It's like
in a sports
comparing
game.
an SUV to like other cars. Like it's not as fast as a Ferrari. It's not as durable as a truck. It doesn't carry as many people as a van. Doesn't carry as much stuff as a freight truck. It's like, dude, what like it's an amalgamation of designs of a car.
Bicycles,
It's like, dude,
are a terrible form of transport because they're not like a fucking train. And you're like, well, yeah, I know.
Look, I'm just trying to have an SUV to take my kids to school. Why is that such a bad thing?
It doesn't have the carrying capacity of a van. I don't know. Something like that. If you had 10 kids, you could use a van. It's like that. Yeah, I didn't buy a van. Thank you.
Yeah, no, like, I just get out of the way of my car. I'm trying to go to work.
Are you gonna
It's
donate
9
to me?
a.m. on Monday. Get out of my way. I will run you over.
Look, I don't care. I just want to get from A to B. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here's Mike Testa.
But the thing is with Mother's Basement, if you want to get to A to B, you've got to read C first and then do one bit of D, then get to B because that's how it makes you feel.
Here's Mike Testa. I saw the game reviewer Super Bunny Hop. I know him. Get so defensive over Gone Home. Oh my god, he desperately compared it to the OG Resident Evil. I lost respect. It was pathetic. Super Bunny Hop.
The original Resident Evil
has really strange takes. Sometimes he's very detailed and accurate, and other times his taste is horrible. So,
I don't know.
How do those two even remotely compare?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, just when people like something so much, they will go to ridiculous like delusions.
Yes.
To say it's the best thing ever, and it's just like, bro, chill. Just
as we've seen with the Snyder bots.
Yeah, and it's just
all of these games are leftist propaganda. Think about it.
Man, that's just
It's like I'm out. I can't deal with your retardation.
Yeah. To honestly, I was done with him, and then I got even more done when he brought up environmentalism in Red Dead, and I was like, I'm just completely done with you now.
I don't know why people are obsessed with the nature in Red Dead. It's like,
that list
God,
that I
that
showed
article
you
pissed me off.
Arthur
litters. That's bad.
Yeah. There's a game mechanic where you can eat from a tin, and the character throws a tin on the ground. And this guy put as the number one reason why the main character's a bad guy because he litters.
I'm not sure if that was a joke, but
no, it's not. They actually think that.
Yeah. But bear in mind, he put murdering hundreds of people lower on the list than littering. I'm like, okay.
Cool. Where your priorities are at.
They are sold on the environment being so precious, and
I want to drop kick this guy.
But yeah, that's
they don't even know the definition of climate, let alone how it changes. So it's kind of funny, guys. If you don't know the definition of climate, it's 30-year span window of temperature and rainfall. That's it. That's all it is.
Very easy.
And the climate changes every 50 years anyway. So you're going to be falling within that window every 20 years.
50 years. Yeah, but it's just so funny where some of the people go like, this hasn't happened since records began, and I'm like, do you know when records began? And it's like, when? I went 1970. In the UK, the records begin in 1970, and literally because in the 1960s, all the information contradicts everything that they're saying now. There's information available. But because it doesn't go by what it is, they go, well, records began in 1970. It's like, that's interesting, isn't it?
All right.
We've never had snow in June. In the 1940s, we had snow in June, and we had snow in June 5 years ago.
I had
So-
snow 2 months ago when it was summer, so yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Not really a game either. If I had to describe it, and I do, it's more like multiple mini-games strung together in a way that's meant to disguise the fact that they're
Okay, so the game is not really a game.
Mini-games.
It's a series of mini games. You know what that reminds me of? WarioWare. That's a game.
Mario Party.
But it's
A
weird
game-
to
a
say,
game
oh,
with-
it's not a game, but it's a series of mini games.
Yeah.
So a game.
Yeah, it's a series of mini games. Still a game then,
Yeah.
because mini games are still games.
Yeah, what the fuck? By the way, I also want to mention, because I don't think I mentioned it in the first part. There's multiplayer in this game. How's it not a real game?
I don't know. I don't know. Eric, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what this guy's on about. I really don't know anything. There's
Mini games aren't games, especially when they're all
I know,
together.
I know not everyone's a big fan of the multiplayer, but I mean, I am. But,
yeah. Yeah,
but
but
there is
that's-
multiplayer. It's pretty fun. Like, what the fuck?
Eric,
not a real
that's
game.
fine. Eric, that's fine. You like the multiplayer of Uncharted because you're a subhuman, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge you liking it. I just think that you're a lesser person and you shouldn't have the right to speak on Twitter.
Yeah, true.
Because
Unless I turn out to like it, at which point you should like it, but then I might change
No,
my mind.
No,
Unless
if you
people
like it, then I shouldn't like it, right? Because I'm your enemy.
In which case the world explodes.
Yeah, but it's you should like something until I don't like it because I might change my mind. After which you should have your tongue cut out and never be allowed to speak on Twitter ever again.
Alrighty.
It's literal words that this guy has said, by the way. I'm not, we went through that.
This
Yeah,
guy.
you're right.
Yeah, but that was a good point. WarioWare. There's also Mario Party.
Yeah.
That's a series of mini games.
Sonic and
God damn.
Mario at the Olympics. That's a video
I mean,
game.
I could
the
I could
Olympic
argue
games.
every single game is a series of logic gates or logic puzzles with different inputs and timing for outputs. Like that's it. Like great.
Yeah, Gears of War is a puzzle game. You got to figure out how to put bullets into the locust. Yeah, see, you can,
Yeah, there's GTA.
you can do it.
There's a lot of open world
The
games.
last,
do this.
the,
There's
yeah,
Red
the
Dead,
Last of Us 2.
Watch
The
Dogs,
Last of Us 2 is a
Assassin's
puzzle
Creed.
game. Yeah, The Last of
Mass
Us 2 is a
Effect
puzzle
Andromeda.
game. You've got to figure out
Yeah.
how to uninstall the game from your console and like burn it.
All right, let's go.
totally different and mechanically. And that's really cool if you want to seamlessly feel like an action star and you don't mind some janky movement. It's kind of ideal for the experience that Naughty Dog is.
How is that janky movement?
And I was gonna say as well, it's like
Yeah.
what's wrong with making you feel a certain way when you do certain things in video games? That's kind of the point.
Yeah. What
See,
about
this is
games that want to
so
make you
here's-
feel like a woman? Is that bad too?
Hold on. So, a game making you feel something is bad, is it? So,
Oh, yeah, life is strange.
hmm,
Here we go.
but it's like,
You want to talk
How
about
does it make you
janky
feel?
controls? You want to talk about janky controls? Check out like the original Resident Evil games. Like watch the players in that. They just you move the thumbstick. They actually turn, without moving. It's like, wait a minute, how does
Yeah.
that work?
Well, mind
Yeah,
you, it isn't so
exactly.
much it's not so much the controls. It's the camera. Resident Evil proves that.
And I'm sorry, but this is
but
not
still, it's still
janky.
janky. It's still
Drake's Fortune was janky a little bit, but this is not janky.
No, I'm
What
not
he's
saying-
doing,
I'm not saying Resident. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I was just gonna say he's just twitting, messing around with the thumbstick. He's just being an asshole. Just going left and right, left and right, left and right.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Which is
No, it's like
great because we do have games where if you do that actual action, like Mass Effect Andromeda, you turn into a football player. There are jankier
janky.
movement games out there. This is not one of them.
Yeah, but
You know that.
playing like a dumbass is not
feelings of it.
janky.
Yeah.
Like
You know my
I make
feelings in this
Arthur
video?
constantly jump. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. No, my feelings in this video is since people mentioned Jurassic Park like 2 streams ago. Do you know that scene in the first one where Ian Malcolm's like talking to the camera and John Hammond just goes, "I really hate that man." That's me with Mother's Basement. I just really hate this man. I'm just shaking my head. I really hate this man.
Hawk, I think you're being too generous to call him a man.
I'm just using the quote.
No
I really hate
person-
this Gillette.
That's not a strong
no,
enough
okay,
word.
okay.
No male calling
Okay,
himself
okay.
basement deserves to be called a man.
Okay, right. Let me
fair enough. I
rephrase
know,
it.
that's fine.
Let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase
Yes.
it. I really
yes.
do hate this waste of cum that should have just been put in a tissue and flushed down a toilet. Is that better for you, Eric?
Yes.
Yes.
That's your quote.
Okay.
Someone say
Yes.
that.
Let's
We'll
not.
record that.
Let's just keep going.
Let's not.
Here's
Let's
here's Mike
insult
Testa.
him.
Now he's being poorly disingenuous by forgetting WarioWare or Mario Party or any other party games, just so this
Mhm.
pitiful excuse of a review. Bad Joffrey and Draft Bad. Well, I've come to the conclusion that these people just wanted to make a video and they didn't have a good enough argument. They just had a bunch of thoughts that weren't cohesive, and so
They simply didn't think about it.
they didn't think it through,
Wow.
and they just put their thoughts down on paper and just went point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, and just start talking.
I know.
Or as Mother's
this is
Basement,
bad.
or as Mother's Basement would do, point 1, point 3, point 5, a bit of point 6, and then
Point A,
you've
point
got-
Z,
yeah,
point
Point
yeah.
point
1.5.
Then he had to go to someone else's points because it's like the comics, and oh Jesus.
It's weird because it's like, have you ever been to a casino? There's a series of mini
Yeah.
games. Does that mean it's not a
Yeah,
real
it's
casino now?
Yeah, it's not really.
Mm.
I don't really know. I'm usually at the bar in the casino, to be brutally honest.
You know, all you got to do go to America and go to a casino, and the bar comes
Smud.
to you.
All I've got to do is just go to America.
I'm
Okay,
serious.
very
If you
cool,
want to sit
okay.
at the bar at a casino, guess what? The drinks are free.
Really?
Yeah, Vegas.
Hawk just
Really?
woke up.
Hawk, you had no idea?
Yes.
No.
You didn't know-
Really?
You didn't know that?
I've never been to America, have I?
Well, now you got a good reason.
Come to America.
Well, that alone proves
I
it.
can recommend some buffets. They're fantastic.
What? Yeah, I'm fucking. Yeah, I'm there now. Fuck COVID. I'll just go illegally like all the Mexicans do. It's perfectly fine.
Vegas
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
get hangover from the drinks.
Seriously, you know, if someone had told me that the drinks are free in casinos, I'd have been going to casinos a long time ago.
Yeah, the drinks are free
That
because
is-
you'll lose all your money anyway.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be using the fucking stuff. I'll go on one.
I think
I'll
you
go
have
on one
to.
on.
I think you have
I-
to.
The dollar table or something, maybe.
I'll play blackjack for like 10 seconds or something. It'll be fine.
I don't.
I'll just say hit.
Watching you the whole time.
I'll just play. I'll just keep saying hit constantly, and they'll be like, "Sir, you're on 612. You have to stop."
Alrighty.
Hit.
Alrighty, let's go.
Going for. First title in the series was the most consistent mechanically, and it's also far and away the worst. The less Naughty Dog adheres to consistent rules,
What?
It's the. Well, I mean, in a lot of
One
series,
was-
you can technically consider the first game the worst because it's a new. At that point, it's a new IP. They're still experimenting with shit.
I like
Yeah.
Drake's Fortune, but God, it's so painful to go through because it's so.
Yeah, the first game of series are usually the worst. Like Mass Effect 1 and Dragon Age Origins, they're just like the worst
It's
games
not what I
ever.
meant, but
Yeah, just
Also, that statement. It's very consistent. It's very consistent, and it's terrible. Like, okay, what do you want? You know, like.
and it's the worst out of all of them somehow.
again, it's like the most consistent. You can say that because they're still experimenting. They're only gonna go with what works. If something stands out, they're definitely gonna do more of that in the sequel.
But that's
Right.
but that
You're talking
implies
about Uncharted 4, you bastard.
yeah, but that
Exactly.
implies
We're talking
that
about the fourth game.
that implies something which is
oh my god.
guys. But that by that logic, if it's inconsistent, that's better somehow.
Hmm.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, what is this? What is this? What is this?
I don't know. This is, that was so weird to say something like that, because all of the fans really don't like Drake's Fortune's gameplay because it's still in that experimental phase. There's a sequence where you take a jet ski and it's like one of the worst drive mechanics I've ever seen in a video game.
They changed it in the remaster. Like when they remastered the game, they made that sequence shorter. From what I heard.
Did they? I don't.
They made it
so.
shorter.
I don't think so. I played the original and the remastered. I think it's about the same length.
Was it?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
The original. Well, I played the remaster, and yeah, I think someone said it was shorter, but I don't know for certain.
I don't remember either.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I just hate that sequence so much that I block it out.
Like Terminator Genesis.
Well,
Here's
I didn't see that.
Here's Mike Test again. To quote the tallest, you should have tried harder.
To quote the tallest, you should have tried harder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Smud?
I don't know what he's getting
I
at.
know.
It's a Mike Test quote.
Wait,
I don't get that.
It's a Mike. Yeah. Who is the? We're not going to say who's the tallest because we all know it's Eric.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Anyway, we're almost.
I'll take a win somewhere.
We're at 14 minutes. We've only got a few minutes left. We're almost done. We're doing good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
More nonsense will kill us. We're good.
Oh,
It's not even midnight, and I feel like we're doing quite well here.
Yeah.
This is good because we usually finish about 1 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Rules, the more cool shit they can let you do. But it's not for everyone, and if you're an angry person on the internet or a professional who should really, really know.
Whoa, hold on. Oh, did Troy Baker really tweet that?
Oh boy.
Or
Again,
God.
getting criticisms into it.
Troy really has an ego, doesn't he?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
it's a good. To be honest with you, it's a good thing. It's a good thing he is actually a really good voice actor because he's allowed to have a bit of an ego. But yeah, his ego is getting a lot bigger now.
I didn't think it was that bad in Uncharted 4 a while. This is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Like, it's okay if people don't like the game. You don't have to get upset. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Well, he got pissy about Last of Us 2, didn't he? So.
Oh yeah, he started quoting like
campaigning hard for that.
he was pulling quotes from like the president or something. I remember, Smud, you did a video about that, didn't you?
Well, that was a while back. I can't remember, but he.
No, I can't remember.
He had a few, not TikTok. It was basically an Instagram video post, and it was like.
I thought you were going to say he had a few too many drinks. That's why he was posting all. I was like, yeah.
Maybe.
It was pretty dumb. It was like, dude, just don't stop. Just stop it. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, Troy's one of those idiots where he's like really values the artistic value and everything.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a really good voice actor, and I'll not knock him for that. But sometimes you've just got to just stick to what you're good at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I think he's. I loved him in as Two-Face. Other projects, it's just like
he's done.
Bro,
I'm enjoying him in the the Batman Long Halloween that he's doing.
Oh, is he in that one?
Yeah, he voices the Joker in that one. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I actually do like his Joker.
Yeah, because it's got what's his name? Yeah, what's his name as what's Dean Winchester's actor? Was it Jensen Ackles?
Jensen Ackles?
Yeah, Jensen Ackles. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Batman, and his Batman's quite good. Actually, the whole thing's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, the second part's coming out, but it's doing quite well. I've enjoyed it so far. The bits that I've watched.
Alrighty, let's go.
know better than launch petitions against his critics, you do well to remember that. I mean, beyond the mechanical inconsistencies, the writing is all over the place, and the story that they try to tell often makes no sense with the gameplay, but I'll save those complaints for another video, maybe. You've listened to me complain more than enough for now, and thank you for listening, and hopefully understanding my perspective.
Oh, well, that's it, we're done. We're
Because
done.
when I
I
see
don't
the
understand
whole
your
internet go
perspective at all.
batshit over someone not liking these games, it makes me feel like maybe I'm the crazy one. And if you want to
You
feel
are.
Yes, you are. And yes, we are.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Still watching.
So
Yeah,
that's why he made this video, because he got upset by Uncharted fanatics saying take the review
Not
down.
liking them. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with disliking Uncharted for whatever reason. His reasons, though, are just not very logical and almost crazy at times. He's expressing a feeling and he's trying to relate it to other games. You're like, that's not the best example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
almost
want
like-
you to. I
I'll
want you
give
to
him credit. Give him credit. I mean, yeah, he is kind of right about the story in Uncharted 4 is like kind of, it's a little all over the place. Yeah, it's like I brought up
Absolutely.
these plot holes yesterday.
You know what?
I brought up these plot holes yesterday, so yeah, he's
That's-
got something of a point.
That's good. But you
Yeah,
know
but
what?
he doesn't.
never
He
talked
doesn't
about it.
expand on that.
He just says
Exactly.
they're bad. You're like, how? How are they bad? Where are they bad? When are they bad? Like, he just says they're bad.
Yeah, they're bad because I don't like it.
And I
They're
only
bad 'cause I
listed
don't
like a
it.
couple of examples.
Yeah. But the thing
Well,
is,
that's the
I knew
this is what I
that's
hate
why
about him, because-
you would. Go on, Eric. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, my bad. But what I hate about him is that he could have been talking about the story of Uncharted 4 through his 20-minute video, and instead he talks about the whole franchise. And if you're going to talk about the whole franchise, that's more time that you got to put on your video if you really want to explain in detail what the problems are with the writing, the gameplay mechanics, everything.
You got to change the title.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
gotta
exactly. Yeah.
put more time and effort into your video. Instead, you just want to make a half-ass video and talk about everything and generalize everything.
The thing is, he didn't have enough information to make arguments, so he had to summarize everything. And it's very possible that Uncharted 4 is not that great of a game in comparison, and some of you guys have said so. But he didn't expand on that. He just says, well, this Uncharted 2 did this, and Uncharted 3 does that. You're like, okay, but the title is 4.
And as much shit as I give the plot holes and everything, I still like the game. It's fun. I like playing it. I like there's actually an option where you can go in and you can actually play certain set pieces over again in the options menu. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. But I still like the game, but yeah, there are some glaring plot holes here and there.
Yeah, it all points to Sam as a character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you got Troy Baker
Well-
playing Nolan North's older brother. Nolan North is older than Troy Baker. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Although I thought he did pretty well. He did sound.
I mean, I like the idea that they got Troy Baker because they really play off each other really well. Nolan North and Troy Baker. So I like the idea of them being brothers. But really, Troy Baker is Nolan North's older brother in this game. Okay, all right, sure.
Well, that was the thing, because you still had the Amy Hennig original idea where Sam was supposed to be the villain, and I thought that would have made a little more sense.
A lot better. That would actually work a lot better. He's you could still do the older brother concept. He comes in as hey, I'm your brother, your older brother. We were separated at birth. You never knew me. And then it's revealed at the end, oh, I'm actually a con man, and I'm not actually your brother. That would have actually worked.
That would have been cool too.
All right, guys.
That would have been great.
Time for some stream memes. We only have a few. That's good.
Oh, yes.
Rigby, this is the Simon Says because you have to take cover when enemies shoot at you. And it's just a shot of Halo, yeah. And is this what Mother's Basement calls good driving? And he has a wonderful toy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. When you say the meal was 11 out of 10, Dead Rising 2, Antoine, the Psycho Chef.
Needs a bit more butter.
With your fingers.
He He almost looks like Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? I don't know.
Maybe a
Yeah,
crazy
just a little
fat
bit,
Joe.
yeah. Yeah. So Fat Joel then.
The steak. this is George Kells. The steak was unnecessarily impressive. The green beans were too good, and dessert was exactly how I like it, so it sucked. I'll give the potatoes a pass.
Yep.
I like this next one.
I'm confused.
What? Yeah, men can't cook. Have I joked you?
Men can't cook, yeah. Am I a joke to you?
Yeah. Oh boy.
That is funny.
What the fuck is this next one?
Leaving the basement. Games are too limited. I prefer the freedom of real life. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's funny because that's never gonna happen. I think nobody has to worry about anything really.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Recipe courtesy of Food Network Kitchen: steak cake. Oh my god.
Wow, that's a real thing? Jeez.
Oh my god. Oh no, these next couple of pictures just make me want to rethink my life.
Oh, I remember this one.
What is that?
Yeah, it's prime rib, and the stuff on the outside is mashed potatoes.
Oh.
It's supposed to be like the frosting, the quote unquote frosting of the cake that's actually mashed potatoes.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
A kid got it for his birthday. Like,
Wow.
seriously,
I put that in my mouth.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
really like
I
steak.
put that in my mouth.
certain families would be like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that idea."
Yeah.
Certain American families, yeah.
Certain families find that interesting. Eric, I put that in my mouth. Cool, thanks.
I would definitely put that in my mouth. I'd like to try that.
Oh, what?
No, I'm curious how it cooked because it's
Oh, just,
cook it
just the
beforehand.
phrasing of it. Just the phrasing. Yeah, I'd put that in my mouth. Jesus.
I would
Dang,
eat
I didn't
this.
think that would get a. Didn't think it would get a huge response.
All right, here it is. This kid got a steak cake for his birthday. The bottom layer is prime rib, followed by ribeye, and topped with filet mignon. Yes, this is
filet
awesome.
mignon. Oh God.
I love
it's
this.
basically the same as the above image. It's the mashed potatoes
That
and all that.
is
It's the frosting.
That is, I wouldn't call it a work of art, but I'd say it's pretty cool.
It's very close to being a masterpiece. It's very close
Okay,
to
now
being a
this
masterpiece.
is impressive but disgusting at the same
Is this?
time.
There's bacon.
Yes, it's a flawed
The
masterpiece.
bacon is wrapped around each layer. I think that's cute. That's
Also, do they have? He has pigs and blankets as well on that.
yeah. Well,
Oh yes.
Like it.
There's bacon. Yeah, there's bacon wrapped inside. Yeah. No, that kid's gonna have like a heart attack at the age of 11.
If you are on the Atkins diet or you're on some sort of protein diet, this is, well, aside from the starch, I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you wouldn't be having starch with your protein diet. That wouldn't make sense. Anyway, Uncharted 4 is a collection of mini games, so it is a game. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's simple.
sus.
Senor Hawk in his illegal disguise. Guten bonjour, my fellow.
Cucarachas.
My
Cucarachas.
cucarachas.
What the hell is this shit?
That is probably what I would say at the border. It's Italian, isn't it? That's what Mexicans speak.
You look like
bonjour.
a white Javier.
Bonjour, my fellow cucarachas.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Oh
So
boy.
what's the language of Mexico? And I go, Polish? I don't know.
So Gorgeous Rex has the trolley problem and the green police. What is?
No, it's Red Dead,
Environmentalist.
and like he's blown up a trolley, and it's like, yeah, it's environmentalism with the green police. It's like, oh no, man.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's funny. I didn't know you could blow up the trolley.
Yeah, just throw dynamite into it.
Here's
I'm gonna do that.
here's Rigby. Me watching Smud not getting the Mike Testa tallest super chat.
Oh, poor Gur.
What
Oh.
is there someone called the tallest? Is that
I guess.
I don't know.
I think so.
Lord Kels or Jordan Kels? The power of free alcohol. I'm moving to Vegas.
So seriously, if seriously, the fact that someone just said there's free alcohol, I'm like, y'all, I love the United States.
You're gonna be a gambling drunk. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to come to my country.
You're gonna become a card shark or work at the actual casino just to get the free alcohol.
Also, this next one is what the hell?
Why is this such a bad platformer? Why is this such a bad stealth game? Why is this such a bad RPG? Why is this such a bad strategy game? Why is this such a bad driving game?
Because it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, because it's not any of those things.
Hoy, I really do hate this
Oh,
waste
yes.
of... Oh my god, that should have just been putting a tissue and flush down the toilet.
I mean, it's
Oh,
like it's
God.
what we said people should do with it. They quoted it.
I'm stealing
Yeah.
that.
Here is the you should have tried harder something.
Oh.
You should have tried
Tallest purple is the
harder.
best tallest.
Oh. Okay.
Got it.
And this is my reaction to the end of the video.
The hell was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
Not,
What
not,
a stupid video.
not,
God.
not denying that. Yeah, it wasn't as painful as we all did yesterday, so that's good. And we're back, so everything's better. We could all have
Yeah.
an early evening or night or morning and have a drink or relax, take a nap,
Yeah.
whatever you feel like. It's been a great busy past few days for me at least, but
Oh, it's good.
Fantastic
Hope
stuff.
it continues to be.
Oh yeah, Monday's gonna be great. Weather has been crazy, but that's good. That's all fun, summery stuff.
Yeah? You got your weekend planned out?
No, actually, I don't. I don't have anything planned out. That's kind of the fun part.
Oh, okay.
I have loads of things planned out. It's sleep, drink a little bit, and then sleep again.
Ah, good stuff.
That's always
I
fun.
thought someone was going, I see you're a man of culture as well.
Well, if you said banging your girl, I would have been like, yes.
Maybe if he was watching anime, then it'd be like, oh, okay, then you could say that.
You should have said Red Dead. Like, man of culture.
Watching Red Dead?
No, playing Red Dead.
Playing.
Watching it, I guess it's fun too.
All right. Anyway, folks, thank you for the suggestion. That was good. I didn't mind it. As much as I hated it,
Mhm.
I didn't mind it. So
Mhm.
I've got that veneer. It's so thick that I don't care. I just
You're
Yeah.
very strong.
well,
I'll be honest with you. The fact that I didn't have all those cookies, I think my blood sugar leveled out, and I could actually last through
that
part of the.
might explain it. Maybe I don't know.
No, I think it's the spaghetti.
Okay, it could be many things.
Yeah.
It could be many things.
Yeah,
we don't know. But anyway, that was not bad. I'm glad
It
we
could have
went
been the
through it.
crystal meth. Yeah.
I have a massive comment I'm gonna leave on his channel, but I don't think he cares. But yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys for all the commentary. Great talk. You guys know your stuff, and of course, I don't think we actually technically needed an Uncharted expert because the stuff he said was so dumb that you don't need to.
No, it's you.
No
Oh, yeah,
much.
he never goes into detail.
Yeah,
He
I was
never
waiting
said
for that.
How it's no, he never said specifically why it's not a real game.
yeah. Sadly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's better videos that you can find that critique Uncharted from
Oh, for sure.
the beginning to the end.
And I have friends who play the game who love it, and they know there's problems with it. It's like, yeah, you're right. Every game has problems. No
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal. So, yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Keep the suggestions coming. I think Mike Testa has one for us already, as always.
I've got a couple suggestions
Oh,
too.
no.
Yeah. So keep them coming. Thanks a
Well,
lot.
yeah.
Have yourself a great evening and take it easy. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.